Hello, everyone. My name is David Brown. I am a third shift baker for Panera Cafe. My business presentation is named Efficient Operations because I am attempting to increase the efficiency of the overnight bakes at the Panera Cafes, mostly here in Pinellas County, but hopefully eventually maybe nationwide or even worldwide for Panera Cafes. Just going to screen share my PowerPoint real quick. Share. Okay. Efficient Operations, Business Presentation by David Brown. That is me. Efficiency is directly related to business success and profitability. It creates a smoother, more manageable business, creates, better atmosphere for the employees to work, a better atmosphere for the customers to be there. Just overall efficiency, in my opinion, is priority number one to increase any related aspect of your business. This picture here is a photograph of a restaurant called Yo Sushi. They are the originators of the conveyor belt sushi, which is what you're looking at here. And I really just believe that it is the most efficient system I've ever seen in my life, and the company is doing excellent because of this efficiency. There's no need for there's no real need for servers in the restaurant, so they can have minimal staff, so it helps their labor. And customers love it because they get to choose whatever they want off of the line. They see something that looks good, they get to take it right off the conveyor belt. So it works out great for the restaurant itself and for the customers. And I think that all restaurants and really all businesses should take a look at not the conveyor belt concept, but take a look at Yo Sushi and what they're doing and how efficiency has promoted their business and made them better. This right here is a photograph of a Panera bread wall. This is the basic layout of a bread wall at any Panera Cafe in the United States. What you're looking at here, we bake every single one of these items every single night between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. in the morning. As you can see, that is a lot of bread to bake, and they are all baked at different temperatures, different times. So there's a lot of multitasking, and really efficiency is very important to get all of this done. Without an efficient setup, it is very difficult to get all of this bread baked and set up the way that it needs to be. At Panera right now, the main thing hindering our efficiency for the overnight bakers is our space. We have 1 or 2 tables to work on that are 5 to 6 feet long. And depending on the cafe, space can be very limiting. For instance, we have one store in the area that we have to move the entire line up 5 feet just so that we can reach our ovens and be able to even bake our bread, which, as you can imagine, is not very efficient. Multitasking is essential in this job, and it's very difficult to do when you're limited on space. So if we could find any way at all to increase the space in which we have to work, I believe ultimately we'll be more efficient and we'll be able to get a lot more done. Short of tearing down the cafes, there's not much we can do to increase the space. However, I've come up with a few options. Option one is to purchase a foldable table to bring out overnight to give us extra space for panning up breads and pastries. I believe this would be a great option because we could put it anywhere that we want to. We could bring it over to the deck oven and do baguettes on it, for instance, which would be very, very easy because as of right now, we have to tray up the baguettes and walk them 10 feet to get to the deck oven and put them in the oven. So, just increasing little things like that just to make it more efficient, not more cost effective per se, but essentially, yes, more cost effective because labor will go down as we increase our efficiency. Option two is to use the sandwich line and salad line as the extra pan up space. This could work, but as I said before, you can't bring the sandwich line and salad line to you and, really increase the efficiency that much, as well as the fact that we use a lot of flour and sugar and stuff on our baking, and the sandwich and salad lines have a lot of cracks and grooves that will easily catch this flour and sugar and will make it very difficult to clean out. A third option is we could use the tables in the dining room as the extra pan-up space. This is definitely very feasible in a few cafes, but there are many cafes that have carpet flooring in the dining room, which would create a issue with the flour and sugars and stuff. I'm not sure if any of you have ever gotten flour on a carpet before, but it is very difficult to get out. It's not just a simple vacuum it up and you're done. So ultimately, I think options 2 and 3, while they could possibly increase our efficiency, I believe ultimately they will not help as much as option number 1. Even though it is the only option with added cost, I do believe that having the foldable table is our best strategic option to increase our efficiency. As I stated before, it's increased workspace. It allows us to have a third table to pan up breads on, so that when we do have the time to get down to those baguettes, we don't need to clear off one of our 6-foot-long tables to start doing the baguettes. We can just do that on that foldable table, which will ultimately save us labor, time, and just ultimately make the whole job more efficient. Also, if there are 2 bakers working, which happens if we have large bakes and a lot of catering, so obviously more efficiency is needed on those nights, it will help separate the 2 of us, because as of right now, there are often times where we are basically standing back to back working, and it is very, very difficult to have 2 bakers working in that limited space, let alone just the 1 baker working in that limited space. Also, another benefit, it could be used for caterings in the mornings to set up catering orders in an efficient and organized manner. And that's just kind of an added bonus. On top of helping the bakers, it will also help the catering coordinators. Risks, there is a slight potential for harm. If somebody's folding up the table to put it away and they pinch some skin off with the folding, or possibly crush a finger and maybe break it. I don't think that this potential is very high or likely. However, it is a risk that we must be aware of. There's also a potential for the table to break. As many of you know, the foldable tables that you purchase here and there are generally made out of plastic and aluminum, so not very strong materials. As long as you don't load down too much weight on it, I don't think it would be an issue. And the third risk, obviously, is it's going to cost money, and it's tough to convince someone to spend money that they're not going to see a direct profit off of. But I do believe that in the amount of efficiency that we will increase and the amount of labor that we will be able to save with this, I do believe that we will definitely reap more benefits than the cost of it will affect us. So after reviewing the few options that we have, I believe it would be a good idea, at least for the most part, in some of our most crowded cafes, to purchase a foldable table that can be easily stored and pulled out for the bakers to use overnight, and for the catering coordinators in the morning as well. And I do believe that after implementing this plan, we will notice a guaranteed increase in productivity and efficiency on the overnight end of operations at Panera's here in Pinellas County, which is where I'm starting, and hopefully eventually at Panera's worldwide. I really do think that this is an issue, not just here in my Panera's, but at many Paneras around. And I would like to help the bakers out, because I know what it's like. I haven't been working there long, but I know that it's tough to get that multitasking and all of that efficiency done. So that is my presentation on how to increase the efficiencies on the overnight end of baking at Panera Cafes. Again, my name is David Brown. I am an overnight baker at Panera. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Thank you very much.